What's going on, YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers, your home for Wyckoff and Advanced Fibonacci TA. Guys, a bloody Monday. That blood spilled over into crypto from the equity space and dropped the price of Bitcoin. Need to spend a second. Let's jump over to the S&P and see what our key support level is. It is right here at 4,000. You can see this peak that is being built up here. 4,000 is a key psychological level for traders. It's also a key support level for the S&P, and we are just below it at 3,999. We need to see if this holds, guys. If this drops, you're going to see more declination, and you're going to see more declination in the NASDAQ as well. The NASDAQ trying to hold a less defined support level of 12,250. If this does come down, these are weekly time frames, this can easily come down to 11,427, which is right here at the 1 fib, and the long-term moving averages are just below it at 10,800. So we need to see these markets hold up. If they do not hold up, you're going to see more declination in Bitcoin because of the fact of how closely it tracks the equities market. If you guys want me to make a market cycle video talking about bubbles in the equities markets, definitely drop it in the comments. And if enough of you want it, I'll go ahead and make it, because the number one comment I saw on yesterday's video was, Bitcoin will never do this. Bitcoin has never done this in any previous market cycle. Well, guys, I want you to understand, once again, Bitcoin has never traded in anything but a bull run in the equities market. Since March 2009 up until November of 2021 for the NASDAQ, for the Russell, it has been a bull market. In January 4th for the SPX, that bull market's over. Now these are all in crashes or corrective markets. Right now the S&P is off of its all-time high by roughly almost 18%. Another 3%, the S&P's in a crash. The NASDAQ's down about 25% right now. So all of these markets are crashing or in a corrective state. Now, the markets are going to move in waves, whether they decline or ascend. They will be wave movements, lots of opportunities to trade. But I want to show you this visually, what the S&P has done twice now in the last 20 years. It has declined 50% twice, okay? This would drop the S&P all the way down. Where's this number at? 2386. My target for the S&P, and it is conservative, is 2300 in an absolute bubble crash, okay? That's a capitulation down to that number. It doesn't mean you're dropping down like that. It's going to be wave patterns. This is going to take time to get to. And this is a conservative number because, as you guys know, we talked about this. This is the largest bubble in the history of the U.S., combining stocks, real estate, bonds, and crypto. So this is a conservative number. If you go on YouTube, you'll hear guys saying 80%, 70%, 90%. I'm basically looking for the S&P to do exactly what it's done twice already and go to long-term trend, which is roughly 2,300, used here in the pandemic crash and then used here in the crash of 2018 as well. So this is what my target is. Now the NASDAQ in the last equity crash went down 82%. That is a massive move. And just visually, guys, you know, Bitcoin tracks so closely to tech. I mean, this is a massive move from the all-time high. If it came down the exact same way, shrink this up again. If it came down the exact same amount again, if the market pattern repeated itself, you're looking here at the NASDAQ going down to roughly 3,000. The NASDAQ's trading at 12,225. Now, again, this is a prediction based on market patterns. Lots of people are talking about the NASDAQ. This isn't something that somebody made up the number of. It's a number the NASDAQ has already done, okay? So long-term trend, I'm looking at roughly 5,000. That number is roughly 3,000. Again, my estimates are conservative based on previous crashes. Now, again, we can have waves up, guys. You can have waves down, waves up. I told you this yesterday. We are talking about trading in a very particular, very volatile market space where we have open war, we have inflation, we have a bunch of different factors, including an election cycle. So our primary focus at Market Makers is trading the trend, trading breakouts to the upside, breakdowns to the downside. And if you guys want to do that, we now have that YouTube function incorporated. You can join Bitcoin right through YouTube. No risk, no obligation. Come check our room out and see if you like it. See why 6,000 people are there. Professional GAN trader, professional Elliott Wave trader, Wyckoff, Harmonics, and Blockstate updates. It's a fantastic room, guys, and we trade our crypto on BitGet. That link is in the video description. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on the daily, let's get our key support levels. To do this, guys, I like to use a trend-based fib for wave projections. Go to the all-time high. Go to your swing low at 32.9, January 24th candle, and then go up to your swing high, that 48,266 number. You can see exactly where Bitcoin's at right now. It is bouncing off of the 0.5 fib at 30,206. This is not much of a demand wick. What do I mean by demand wick? Well, it's a Wyckoff term. Basically, you want to have a big, long wick like this. This shows buying demand, okay? So what we're trying to do here is form a bottom. We were forming a bottom here, and then we have these candles basically capitulated the range and fell back out, okay? You're still close to your Wyckoff trading range. You can still pull back up, but you can also descend. So it's very important to make some type of base. This is a daily time frame. It is only one candle. We have to see the other markets hold their ground. If I tell you this is a critical level for Bitcoin, it is. But your 618's at 25,950 here on the daily time frame. But again, these numbers don't mean as much when you're tracking so closely to the equities market. Bitcoin's not going to hold 0.5 if the NASDAQ loses 400 or 500 points again tomorrow. It's just not going to. It's going to drop with it. So that's why these markets are so linked together. And it's very important to understand that, okay? So let's go ahead and look at some upside targets as well. Look at these targets for a relief rally. Now remember, these targets are descending. We're going to go ahead and tag this candle here, even though it's still open. We need to have a target. But these targets will be descending. And whenever I'm looking at relief rallies, guys, I'm looking at the 382, the 0.5, and the 618. We're looking at 36, 38, and almost 40K. These numbers are getting lower and lower. The 618 being the most commonly retraced to fib would put you up something like that, and then you could make some type of shape, possibly go up, or just descend back down again, okay? This would be back in the Wyckoff trading range, which is a positive event. But guys, to be honest with you, to have more positivity about the crypto space as far as price action, you need to have consecutive days of positive gains. And right now, if you look at this trend, it is just capitulation. It's just over and over again, candles falling apart, and then losing the bottom, making a down thrust. We can have that reactive move, that relief rally back up. And by relief rally, I literally mean a wave up to key fib resistance, okay? And of course, our long-term targets here, the 233 and the 200, they are still descending. At some point, guys, I just want to give you guys this note of confidence here. At some point, price will wave up. Even when you have massive capitulation like this and have a 50% drop in the market, this was a 38% move back up. You will have big moves. This is a trader's paradise right now to be trading in. You have to wait for your setups. Don't be rushed. Be patient. There'll be multiple opportunities to enter the market. Go down to your smaller time frames, get confirmation with your larger time frames, and you can learn all this in our room as well, guys. And so just be very patient, and these trades will come to you if you're not currently in a trade. Now, let's look at some indicators here as well. Let's look and see what the volume did. Well, we finally got our breakout volume. We got our high relative volume twice out of trend. Look at the selling candle here. We didn't have this yesterday. We got this breakdown candle. Distribution, obviously, heavy distribution. Volatility, our ATR oscillator here, went down to almost 4 times ATR. So this was a big explosive move to the downside. Bitcoin is holding right now, at time of recording, about 30,800. Let's go ahead and throw on Ichi here and see how this cloud is changing as well, because the further dissension we get, the more resistance we're going to get to a rise. I mean, it's a shame because a few days ago, this cloud was really thin. And now, as you can see, it's starting to fatten up. The more price action you get at a lower level, the cloud will get thicker and thicker. It's like a wet blanket on Bitcoin. It is more difficult to rise up, but not impossible. And we still have a sweet spot here where we could get some type of reflexive rally. The CPI print, the inflation report, comes out Wednesday. I have a feeling these markets are waiting to see what happens. If that number comes in, and it doesn't matter how high that number is to me or you. I mean, it matters to our wallet. It matters to the food and gasoline and everything that we have to buy. But to the talking heads, the people that control the hedge funds and the smart money, if they think it's peak inflation or slightly lower, that's enough for them to maybe start investing in these markets and give them some upward momentum. So look for that CPI. If it is lower than expected, then you could see a lot of positive momentum in the markets. And guys, if it's higher, you could see more blood, unfortunately. You could see more blood. And you can have these numbers start to get hit. The 618 at 25,950. As you guys know, in the weekly, I'm looking at 23K here for my target. And if we just go straight down like this to the 23K, that's crazy, okay? That's absolutely crazy that we haven't had any type of relief. The equities markets are really oversold. So I'm still thinking we'll find some type of bottom and get some type of wave. It doesn't have to be a big wave, but you want to see some positive momentum, and then typically you can get a bigger move down, okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. Let me know if you guys want to see an equities market cycle video talking about bubbles if you're interested in that. And please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will definitely answer your comments like I did yesterday as well. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.